All right, good evening, y'all. We're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. It's 6 p.m. This is the Historic Preservation Commission meeting. It is August 23rd, 2022. We're going to have a roll call. Present today, we have Jane Camp, Susan Brown, Laura Powell, and myself, Elizabeth Jones. Also present, city staff, Brad Callender, city planner, and Laura Wilson, code administrator. We are going to approve, we have the approval of the agenda next. Laura, we do have to have a vote on that, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I motion.
Okay, can I get a second? Second. All right, motion so carried. Did everyone have the chance to read over the minutes? Or that was here? Do we have a motion to approve the minutes? Or do we need to do that? Okay, go ahead and approve the minutes.
I'll motion.
Let's see, I guess of the people that were here, it was just me and, it was just the two of us that were here then. So I would be the second to, all right, then I will second the approval of the minutes. So carried. Let's see. Old business. Let's see, the first item of old business. Let's see, request be 106 South Broad Street signage. Is anyone here for 106? All right, let's see. Laura, what do we suggest we would do with that? Brad?
Laura had reached out to the applicant. You know, this was a request to table 2 months ago from your June meeting, and that was in order for her to provide some alternatives to the request based on the discussion that HPC had at that meeting. Laura had reached out to the applicant when the day of the deadline, which was the Friday before last, asking the applicant if she had any alternatives to provide. Her response was that she had not prepared any, and then Laura sent a follow-up email asking if she would like to table the request, and there was no response.
Okay, so this has been tabled twice? Or
Twice already.
Okay.
Once because I think the courtesy of the HPC with the first instance was not, I guess, intentional or what have you. They had emailed us like 5 minutes before the meeting asking it to be Zoomed, which we do not do for HPC. And then, so the HPC voted to table it to give them an opportunity to be here. And that subsequently led to, lengthy discussion about that application and them providing an alternative to you guys.
Since it has been tabled a couple of times, I think maybe we should go ahead and make a motion on it then. And if she wants to bring it back for us, would she have the opportunity to?
Sure.
Okay. I would like to read a couple of notes on that. Would that be okay, Al? Mm-hmm. Okay. From the zoning ordinance does state that the purpose of a historic district sign ordinance is to ensure the district's signage is harmonious in proportion, form, color, and materials to the character of a historic district. It also states that letters can be painted or mounted on a signboard if in proportion to the storefront, but it says that the overall design of all signage shall be compatible with the historic district's overall character. And I think we do need to keep that in mind.
Is this still considered a sign? Is it not a?
It's a sign.
It's a sign.
This is a sign that's regulated under the historic district sign portion of your ordinance.
So what we've got here is extremely big for what?
Yes, ma'am. To answer your question, based on what they had provided, I mean, they roughly have 52 linear feet of visible wall space in that area facing Spring Street. There are fee simple properties that are between that wall space and Spring Street, but this wall is visible from Spring Street. And so by the calculations allowed in our ordinance, they would be allowed 1.5 square feet per linear foot of that distance. I think that's just being gracious, because technically that wall has no real frontage on Spring Street. But we're overlooking that issue and saying, if they wish to sign it, they can get 1.5 square feet, which would be 78 square feet.
And so what have they got now?
I'm estimating it's around 600 square feet. Because I'm guessing the wall's roughly 18 to 20 feet tall at a very conservative amount, and the linear feet of the distance of the 52 feet of that space, if you look at their representative sign drawing that was in their package, I mean, this is just a rough calculation. I estimate it's 500, 600 square feet, could be larger. That would not be permissible. If this were not an HPC item, and this were simply a matter of submitting a permit to our office, and it was not in a historic district, that sign would not be permissible, based on that size.
So, then we'd need to make a motion that they come back with something that's in the permissible sign.
I think you guys have already given her that opportunity.
We have?
think
Okay,
so.
so what would we do next?
If it is, if you make a motion to deny, it needs to be for a reason, like the statement that I just made from the zoning ordinance, that signage should be compatible with the historic district's overall character. Is that not correct?
That's correct. You can, I think, to further stipulate what the Code of Ordinances say, you do have to state the specific reasons in it. If there isn't a motion and a motion passes for denial, that we notify the applicant in writing, and basically that writing shall state the reasons for doing so. Based on what you described, it could be that. It could be some additional statements. If you read further in the historic district standards there, it goes even further to talk about complementing the architecture of the building and shall not violate or otherwise obscure the architecture of the building to which it's attached. I mean, there's a lot of other things you could keep going further on and expounding upon, but your first initial statement, Ms. Johnson, would cover that.
I think, and you said that they would be permitted what's out of the 600 feet that they present, they should reduce it to
78.
78.
I say, yeah, I mean, this is just rough calculation based on what I can determine. Would be 78 square feet.
I think that is fairly clear enough to me that they're way over
Yeah.
what's permissible.
Do I have a motion?
I'll move, so move.
Do I have, would you state the?
No. What he
gonna-
said, what I said.
I'm gonna need a motion to state.
Help me word this.
But it
then.
doesn't fall within the guidelines of the historic district for signage.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell. And you can say that you can keep going further, but it's a motion to deny based on those reasons.
That's good. Do I have a second?
Second.
Right. Motion carried. Okay. Is that good, Laura? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
We will notify that applicant in writing as required by the Code of Ordinances, and they will be notified of all the additional procedures available to them with the statements.
All right, next one up. Actually, this is going to be new business. 229 Alcovey Street, exterior changes. Go ahead and approach. Tell us a little bit about the work that was done.
So far, windows, siding, roofing. We didn't change the footprint at all. Just updating everything.
Let me pull it up and take a look.
71 new windows? Oh, 2 over 1, I see.
Trying to find the pictures. Let's see.
Are there pictures?
I think so.
Is that it? Oh, I know which house this is.
This is where you removed the vinyl siding and replaced
With hardy plank.
hardy plank. Tell me about the windows.
Tell you about the windows?
These windows were 6 over 6,
They were, yes, standard over standard, yes. Single pane SSB,
and then they were
non-insulated.
replaced with,
Right now, it's a 1 over 1 bronze, low E, insulated glass.
Do they have a possibility of having the mullions snap in?
I have already said I'm going to do just a single bar over the top. That'll give it like a 2 over 1 look. Or a prairie, whatever you want to.
So you're painting it, you're from the white to the yellow?
No, the yellow, that's just a primer that's on the new siding.
Okay,
It's called Greek Villa. It's
Yeah, it'll be
almost
a-
white, but it's a
almost like a
cream.
white cream.
okay. I was gonna say, because that white looks better than that yellow. Why did you decide to change the 6 over 6 windows?
Just a preference, personal preference. Those windows were rotten. Those windows were a single pane, like I said, a non-insulated window. So,
From,
they were about to fall in. They were installed, I believe, in 48.
from a historic point of view, the 6 over 6 look better.
Historic point of view, we have the probation office across the street from us. So we're looking out our front windows of the probation office. So I don't see what's historic about that.
Were you going back with the shutters, or will they stay? The shutters are not
Did we want?
to the house.
Thinking about not doing shutters, just keeping it very clean and simple.
But my point is that the shutters would not be original to the house.
Well, they're not gonna put shutters back.
I don't think the vinyl was original either, so we're making improvements, not.
The problem with the problem that I see with the windows, and I realize your view is unfortunate, but the 6/6 were what were original to the construction and the architecture of the house. If you had, I know there are windows now that you get double paned windows, but they have the snap-in grids that make them look.
Well, there was a cost difference involved in that compared to,
There's also
Yeah, what we
multiple
had-
houses in historic areas that don't have the grids in them.
Well, there, yeah, the 2/1, that's an even older architecture than this house that you see around Boulevard and Alcovey area.
It's hard to, Alcovey's majoritively commercial. So we've got apartments across the street from us, probation office, there's multiple rental houses on our street. There's a house up the street that's had broken blinds in the window for over 5 years. I mean, I don't think we're the issue with our windows on this road.
I realize what all is around you, and I think you are making great improvements to this house. But I personally have a problem with the 2/1 window. And I wish we could get everybody on Alcovey to come before us, and we would tell, we would tell them the same thing. And yes, it's unfortunate that you're surrounded by that. But they're not doing any work to their house, so.
So just let their houses look like garbage and we're doing something good to ours, and it's.
Well, it damages the integrity of the district when everybody does what they want to do instead of following the guidelines of the district.
Like garbage. I mean, our windows are really the problem.
Well, we're just dealing with this one house and what is appropriate for this one house. And the 6/6 is what was there. And we're just trying to follow the guidelines for your house. I mean, I wish, like I
but
said.
what about, I'm just asking, the other houses around me that have been redone within the last 30 to 60 days that don't have any 6/6, that no grills whatsoever in the windows. There's one for sale on the corner of Breedlove. There's one at the top, the big white historic house.
There's a house right here at Broad
I'm
and
just
Walton Street that has no
speaking-
grids in the
Not,
window.
not all those properties are inside historic districts.
This
They're
right
on
here at
Breed-
Broad and Walton Street isn't historic
These right here on
district?
Breedlove
Has
by
no
by
grids.
me are.
I'm sorry, there's no reason to be confrontational. I just was trying to confirm, which house are you talking about when you
The
point
one
this?
right here in the corner, the big white one?
This was approved by their
Okay,
changes
so
were.
why is that approved with no grids and we can't not
I
have?
think that was, they didn't have a window change in their house, did they not? If there is work going on there, we'll send our building inspecting by there, building inspector by there and check it out, but it's completely different from the situation I think we're dealing with here. I guess, I have no comment other than just saying that you, if you pinpoint other homes than the city, they may or may not be in a district. In this case, that one had like 7 requests that came in front of HPC, this one on the corner.
Excluding this one, I'll talk about the ones just on Breedlove, which is right behind me.
Boulevard.
Boulevard, I'm sorry,
Boulevard.
Boulevard.
So if there are changes that are happening there, I mean,
Well, the change is already done. One on the corner
without
has actually been totally renovated, new windows, everything, and it's for sale.
can you give us an address so we can follow up on
Is
that?
that the two-story house that was moved?
No, ma'am,
It doesn't
That's
matter.
one of them too. This one's all the way down at the
At the
end.
other end, which I guess, I don't know
Sitting
the
on the
exact
corner.
street address, but the road's not big.
Corner of Barrett?
Is that what it is?
Barrett. When you said Breedlove, I wasn't,
I'm sorry.
Boulevard.
Barrett.
It's Boulevard and Barrett, yeah.
Barrett and, okay.
Boulevard and Barrett.
I believe both, maybe those two houses were moved as
One
well.
of those
Okay.
was moved, and I think they both came in front of this committee.
Yeah. I know the white one on the corner, all new windows. There's no grills whatsoever.
The Carson house that you're referring to, that would not have had grids. I mean, that house would.
But our house was built in 1948. I mean, what are we talking about? These houses were built in the early 1900s. I mean, it's not like our house was, I mean,
But you're in the historic district. and-
okay, but across the street from us, I want somebody to explain to me why we have apartments across the street from us, probation office. The apartments aren't built like that, nothing else is built like that, but then we have to conform to that with that over some windows. I mean, it's not like we're taking, let's go down the street at Alcovey and whatever that is on the other side. I know Bree lives this way, I don't know the exact street, but that house that's always got 97 people living there and 700 cars in the driveway across the street from the hospital. I mean, what is the issue? It just
Why
is,
don't you address that to the city council?
I don't have time for that. That's why I
We
think
don't
this is
answer
ridiculous.
those questions here. We just address what you're doing.
What would you like to see on the windows?
You want us to rip out all the windows and put new
I
ones in
didn't
there?
say that. There is absolutely no need in being this absolutely confrontational. Absolutely no need. I'm sorry, but I just,
What would you like to see on the
well, I
windows?
would like to have a civil conversation about it rather than confrontation.
I would like to see the 6/6. I mean, you ask a question, I'm just answering it.
Other than a 6/6.
Other than the 6.
Yeah, other than a 6/6, what,
Okay, I'm new to this, so I'm still learning. I'll be transparent. But what are the rules, or I'm all about compromising a little bit as well. So you're talking about the snap-ins on the windows. I mean, what if it was like 4/1? We've done that before, I feel like, or we've talked about it at least. To kind of
Until they
compromise.
said, until they got confrontational, I was going to mention that, and I believe you replaced the front door also, if I'm not
yes, ma'am.
mistaken, and that was supposed to come before us as well, but you replaced it. And I'm sorry, if you'd like for me to be quiet, I seem to be disturbing your wife very much.
I haven't opened my mouth.
Feel
since
free.
you said-
No, but your facial expressions
I
say a
can make all
lot.
the facial expressions.
Oh, you've made very many. Yes, ma'am. You have replaced the door. You did not come before us about the front door either. But you do have a window in the front door that appears to be 2/2,
Yes, ma'am.
which is better than what you've got in the windows now.
Okay.
If we're looking for a compromise.
You want to do like a,
I've just
4/1
said what I needed
that
to
matches
say right
that?
then, and I'll leave it to anybody else who wants to add anything. I've said enough.
so a 4/1, that similar
Well,
to?
you mentioned 2/1, but if you did if you did that in the top and the bottom, at least it would match the front door.
2/2.
Yes.
So single bar? That's what I'm, okay,
That would look nice.
easy enough.
Yeah. That's a good compromise.
Sure.
Are we saying everything 2/2? All the windows? Okay, can we, do y'all think that that's doable?
That's-
2/2?
Easy enough.
Okay, can we get a motion to approve that?
I'll motion
Can we get a second? Actually, can I get you to clarify what you're motioning?
to do 2/2 for the front windows and the door, or just the windows?
Door or,
Door's already
The
got it.
door's already done, so just the windows.
Okay, can we get a second?
I'll second it. I think that'll look nice.
Okay. Any,
And Laura, can I clarify, do we need a motion to approve everything else as it's already done, since this is just now coming before us? Do we need to get a motion to approve it, everything? else that's been done?
Yes, let's get a motion to approve everything, and so I can list it.
Okay, so let's look and see what else we have on here. Just the hardy plank siding.
Yeah, so it would be the hardy plank siding.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the hardy plank siding as replacing the
Vinyl.
as replacing the vinyl?
I so moved.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so approved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Everything's good?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let's see, we've got 221 Boulevard, exterior changes. All right. Here we go.
Madam
We
Chairwoman?
moved ahead a little
Wait,
bit.
did I move ahead? I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize. I skipped. I did.
Yeah, I was supposed to be.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize. I jumped ahead of the game. Well, I had 116 6th Street. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Okay. I think y'all know what I want to do. I did that same thing to 143 5th Street. 116 6th Street, I want to add a room to the rear, which that creates a two-bedroom, one bath. It's 10 by 14, and then redo everything in it. And I don't know if anyone saw the house I did on 5th Street, but it turned out really well.
I just wanted to clarify, so the footprint's not changing, the back screen porch you're just enclosing?
No, this one, no, it's going to have a 10 by 14 addition to the rear. It will not change at all from the front of the house. I had pictures of, I printed 2 sets of photos. I don't know if everyone here got one. But I did print the house on 5th Street too to show it's the exact same footprint of the house to begin with, and they're going to be the same when I finish.
I don't see any photos.
And I have additional pictures if someone wants to see those.
I would like to see them, please. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Not the same thing in our packet?
Looks
Okay.
This home has wood siding that's still in pretty good shape, so I'm probably going to not replace the outside on the original dwelling. I will paint and redo that, but the rear will have hardy plank on it.
That's the one he's already done on 5th Street.
I think she's got one down there.
You have one?
Yes.
Okay. So how big is the addition going to be?
10 by 14.
10.
And the way the other one worked out, we were able to, this is exactly the same layout, so we were able to create a hallway with a laundry room into that bedroom. And there's still going to be a shared bath, but it just, those houses are just, with one bedroom, one bath, I mean, they're just not real functional. as they are. I mean, obviously, there are people who want a one-bedroom, but
Does anybody have any questions? No? What do y'all think?
These little curly Q columns on the front.
I'm probably going to leave that one exactly the way it is. It's got that wrought iron porch railing. The other house had already been improved with some kind of wood railing, which is not nearly as architecturally correct for that area as that wrought iron is. I think that's going to be pretty cool once I strip everything down and repaint that.
Okay, and you're going to keep the door 2/2, the glass in the door?
Yes, I don't know if that door is going to be salvageable or not. Maybe. If it is, I'm going to keep it. I just don't know. I haven't been down there in a few days, so. And obviously, I'm going to ask a question about windows at some point, so.
It looks like you do have 6/6 over here on the side.
What was that now?
It looks like you do have 6/6 over on the side.
On the other house?
Yeah, oh, on the side photo, on the same house, yeah, on the one that you're redoing.
Yeah, but those windows had already been replaced
Had they?
before. That house had been partially renovated through the years, and so I think the only windows we replaced were on the rear of the house. But I will, 2/1 costs the same as 6/6, so it doesn't matter to me at this point. And I think the 2/1 would look better, so I'm leaning toward that anyway.
I don't think the shutters were original either, probably.
Do we have a motion?
I move to approve as presented.
We have a second?
I'll second.
All right, so carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Bill, do you need this back? Thank you.
6/6, what we're saying, on the windows, or is that? I'm just curious, I didn't know exactly
What is usually in the Mill Villages,
Yeah, usually,
6/6, yeah.
yes. Yes, we like it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so next up, we have 221 Boulevard, exterior changes. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
All
you
right.
want me to?
Oh, yes, go right ahead.
So, I'm not even sure how old the house is, but we had not originally planned on staying there. We were going to build a new house, and just with the cost of what new house build is, we're deciding to stay. But there's no actual owner's suite there, and I'm assuming that some of the renovations that were done, and our neighbors told us it was probably 5 years ago. I'm pretty sure they didn't come before a commission to do it. Because the kitchen floor, our refrigerator is sinking into the floor, and evidently, the under, it's going to need a lot of reinforcements in the floor. But that doesn't pertain to you at all. But that being said, They also enclosed a back screen porch, and there are just very cheap aluminum windows in it. Like I said, I don't think any of that was, I can't see how it was. So what we would like to do is create an owner's suite, because there is not one there, extending the house and the roof line as it is on the second or third step back. Now I can't remember. If I look and see, I think it's the second step back. The last step back, whatever that is, will just be extended by 14 feet. So that's 10 by 14 that is extended on the rear of the house. And then the original like footprint that I was given, there was a screen porch on the front porch as well that they just tore out. And I'm going to replace that. I want to replace that and then make it a year-round, not just a screen porch for warm weather, but for year-round use.
You mean glass it in? Or
Yes, yes.
do you have pictures of what that would look like?
Pictures of something that's not there? No, I don't have
We could
pictures
look
of
at
that.
to see what you're proposing.
No. It would just, I guess, look like whatever the screen looked like before, but it would be glass.
My point is, the house more than likely was not originally screened. The screen probably came later. And I think we'd need pictures of what you're proposing.
I would have to do that to make a picture of it. I don't understand.
Just a representative of one that's similar like what you want to do, that exists somewhere else. Representative photograph,
Where is this?
like, but just have panes in it, I think is
There's
what
no
they're
screen.
asking, like,
It's
this
not
is
a
a,
screen.
it's a pretty big opening out of there, so are you gonna have them like
But
slats
originally, it
to
probably
reinforce, or just gonna be solid screen?
Just
I
a-
think if they heard that, I think that would help.
So
It's just a plate glass.
Just
on the-
solid plate glass, no
Yeah.
panes, I think that helps,
Oh, okay.
the description of what.
I mean, it would look, really wouldn't look any, I mean, I don't see how it would look any, I don't know if it would look any different. It would just be a plate glass on the front and on the side. So it'll just be like
Yes.
a,
Not filling it, no panes, just solid,
what is that called? Not a conservatory room, but just
a sunroom.
like a sunroom, yes.
Usually they're on the back of the house, so.
Just, I'm not trying to help her application, but she's
No,
not
I
saying
see- I
she's
see
going to
what
add
you
any
mean.
columns or anything. She's, keep the columns the way they are and add glass.
what about the entry? I mean, to the.
Yeah.
to that.
Would it
Because this
just,
is a big, wide, the steps that go to the front door.
Right, that would all just be like, where the siding is under the window would just continue across there and have a plate glass above it. And then a plate glass on the side, and then there's a step down going out the back. You see what I'm saying? The steps are already there, if you look in the,
I see that.
you can see a door from the front, and then beside the door, there are steps that go down to the yard.
So would the plate glass start at the steps, or would it start, where would it start?
Start at the steps. No, that would be, I guess that would be a wall beside the door. There wouldn't really be
Okay.
anything there, just the door opening. And then the front would be a plate glass, and the side would be a plate glass between the columns on the side.
Gotcha, okay.
And the
Oh, I see what you're saying, okay.
the partial wall that's between the columns, that would stay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I see what you're saying.
The only partial wall that, we'd have to build a partial wall on the front to hold up the plate glass, but it would be a continuation of what is already there.
So actually, okay, the glass is going to start here. Okay, so would the front door remain the same?
Oh, yes. Nothing is changing on the front of the house, except a plate glass window will be added to the front and to the side.
All right, from this little column right here, the small column, would it just go up like that?
Want me to step over there?
Do you want to approach? I think she's asking you if it's going to start from the small column or the large column. I'll show you the picture. We're looking at this picture right here, and we've got the large column here and the small column here. So we're asking if it's going to start from this column or this column.
Oh, no, it's here.
The large column.
That's not the, where is the picture? Like, here you go. So this is the, okay, maybe you can see it from here. So, here is the porch, right? And this is what you're looking at right there, what you're looking into. This is it right here. So it's not up here, it's all the way back here with the level of the house. That's
so further back.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of it's an optical illusion here because you can't see into the dimension. So the window will be back here. The continuation of the siding will go across there with a plate glass window above it. Same thing over here, the siding that's already there will be there, and then there'll be a plate glass window on the side. So what you're looking
Further,
into,
like, okay, if you were describing it.
Oh,
from
that's
this-
piece of cake.
yeah, it's from that column to that column, not from that column to that
There it
column.
is.
It's from this
That
column
column
to
to
this
that
column.
column.
I was like, how's it gonna go across here without having a stroke?
Yes, it'll be from there to there.
That should,
Okay.
that's
That makes sense?
Yes, from the side, this side.
Will that be,
it's illustrated on her
is that a
plan.
large expanse of
footprint
place? or-
It is 6 feet.
Did you see what she was saying? So here, so not that column, this column and this column to this side picture, yes. This column to this column,
Okay, but then what about across the front?
no. She's saying that's not, it's not
it's
that.
just that
It's
little-
just this,
It's just the
The porch
side that
stays
you're
the-
going to glass in?
Correct.
The front porch stays the same.
I see.
All it is
did you see what she said?
Yes, ma'am. She's
a little
got it
rectangle that
illustrated on the
comes off of
footprint.
study.
I see.
It's that little rectangle.
I've got you.
Yeah, it's off the front.
It will bring in more natural light into
Okay.
that area, so that part of the room won't be covered by the top of the porch anymore, and that'll allow natural light to come in the side, which for me as a painter is something that I need
Yeah,
for doing painting.
yeah.
Okay.
To see better there.
Thank you. I was having a hard time with those big
me too.
expanses of glass.
I know.
It's
I thought
hard
it was
to
going
see,
from the
if you
first
think,
column.
if you, I wasn't in doing the whole front porch, it's
That's
just a
why
very,
we were thinking it was the whole front.
oh, no, it's just a very, I couldn't afford to do that. It's just a very, what would that square footage be, 6 by 10? So, is that what I'm looking at?
10 by 10, 10 feet, 10 inches and 6.
Yes. But I don't want to, I love my front porch. The only thing I'm screening in is the part of the front porch that we don't ever use anyway. But I love my front porch. I'm
The front porch is part.
not giving that up.
Yeah, it really makes
I
sense.
would like the natural light, which is going to really be very beneficial to me personally in what I do, but I'm not going to sacrifice the front porch for it. It's just,
You have beautiful windows and
yes.
especially
I
that.
wish they didn't, I
gable
wish they were more
Up there and the.
modernly equipped, but I love the windows, so.
This is on Boulevard. I've got,
I'm 2 doors down from the Henson house.
When you current,
So the Henson house is here,
You know where the-
and then Chip's old house, I don't know, I mean,
on the left. Okay.
Kenneth and,
who used to own that?
can't remember her name now, have the red roofed house, and we're next door to that.
Did Arlene Mitchell?
Who?
Arlene Mitchell?
Have we covered everything
No,
on the
she's-
list?
She was up the street.
Okay.
Do you know who used to own this house, or do you?
I know the house was owned before, with Matt Jordan owned it, we know him before, and I think Paul Rosenthal has owned it before, and I don't know how many times it's changed hands over the years.
Well, it's a nice house.
It's always been very pretty.
Have we covered everything on the list here? All of the items here? No? Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's go down the list.
Renovating the kitchen, adding windows above the sink. We covered that.
The windows above the sink?
Yes. Those would have to be new windows. And we tried to make them, well, we tried to make, so if you see like the dining room, if you're looking at the side elevation, view B on the rendering here, so in the dining room, you have the 4/1, and then you have a line of mullion windows. I don't know what to call that. It was just divided windows, and then the 4/1 again. So what we were trying to do is sort of kind of go along with what's that, small line above, but really to do windows over a kitchen, that would be too little. If you could seeing them in person, that would be too little to just put those up there. It wouldn't be practical over a window, over a kitchen. And then we thought about just like the 4/1, but those are too long, for the kitchen, to be over a sink. So it's just going to have to be just flat pane, or like, what do you call those, casement windows, is as close as we could get to what's there now. And taking out the cheap aluminum one that's in the laundry room now and replacing it with a 4/1. Because I'm sure those were not approved when they did them. I'm assuming they didn't have it approved at all when they did it.
So what are the windows going to look like?
So it would just be what's on the rendering there, the drawing. Just a line of windows.
That's on VB.
Yes, in the kitchen.
But you're saying they're going to be different from the windows that you already, they're different sizing than the windows you already have on the house?
The kitchen is going to change because of the extension. So all there is in the kitchen right now is one window, which is not going to, it can't be there because it will be like, it would just be like a window stuck over on a wall, you know what I'm saying? So we have to add windows above the sink. Well, I mean, we want to add windows above the sink because it's above the sink in the kitchen.
You need more light in there.
Right.
Yes, so, and it wouldn't, we're trying to make it more I don't know, aesthetically pleasing, rather than having this window over here by itself, just put in windows over the sink rather than having something that would be off balance. Because all that's in the kitchen right now is one window, but the kitchen is going to change because of
So that area right there is the windows that is going to change because you've got the 4/1 here, 4/1 here. So we're talking about right there, correct? So you've got you got 4/1 on the ends, and then you've got a row of just.
That's the new, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So you've got 8 windows, small ones?
No, that line just indicates that it's a casement window.
Oh, okay.
It's just an indication of the type of window it is. It'll just be like a plain glass. So it'd be like taking what's over the dining room and just enlarging it to make it practical to be over a sink.
If you did that, would your contractor come in and instead of just if they're casement windows, come in and do the mullions like the other one, have the solid glass at the bottom and the mullions like the 4?
They won't be opening, they won't be opening that way. They roll this way, so that wouldn't.
Even if they rolled, I meant just put them stationary on the window itself. I don't know if you have a contractor who could.
We're the contractor. We've built our last 2 homes, and I don't see how that would work with a casement window. And really, where these are in the house, it's not like you can see it from the street. The only people that can see it will be our next door neighbor, because it's the back portion of the house, and unless they have somebody in their backyard, I mean, it's not something that you readily see from Boulevard. Even going up and down Boulevard, even passing by this part of the houses, you're not going to see. Too close to the houses next door to it.
I can't get a clear picture.
Of the size of the window? Of the size?
Yeah.
Madam Chairwoman,
This where she's talking about.
Madam Chairwoman, would
I'm
you mind
sorry?
if I asked a question?
Yes, go ahead.
So for your casement windows, how large are each of the
They're
windows?
basically 2 by 4.
So they're,
Standard casement.
standard casement, and do they open together, or do they each individually open?
They each individually open.
So they each individually swing open rather than a pair opening like this? Okay. And there'll be 4 of them?
5. I
5?
think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes.
It'll be 5, okay.
Oh,
So you're creating a ribbon of windows over your kitchen sink to kind of mimic the original existing ribbon window
Over in the dining room.
in the dining room?
Yes, it's this same idea, just larger.
Right.
Because we actually are mimicking those windows over the bathroom in the back,
Okay.
but over the window, over the sink, it's just not practical. It doesn't let in enough light.
Right.
And also, I would really like to be able to open windows in my kitchen.
yeah, I can't either.
And these 100-year-old
Understand.
windows don't open.
No, they don't.
So it would be really nice to have windows that actually open in my
Yeah,
kitchen.
maybe they need
Right.
to see that.
As well as let in light, because that will be the only natural light coming in the kitchen. Right now, the only natural light I have coming in the kitchen is just one of those 4/1s, and
And they're all going to swing one way, or they're going to, some will swing in pairs, or, I'm sorry, I think that's.
so one end, so the casement windows are, the line indicates which way they open.
Okay,
So, and we could even make the middle one stationary if I need to, but
I don't think that's.
the ones on one side open one way and one on the other side open the other way.
I see that makes sense now, so they can, so it creates more of a, so they're not.
Airflow.
So you're not pairing,
No, it's airflow.
and then one odd guy out in the middle.
Yes.
Anyway,
We use these in, the last house we built in Madison, we use these and I really love them. I just personally, it's something, they're windows that I love.
Susan, did you have another question?
I've lost it now on the computer.
Here.
Is it on the side of the house that you're talking about, or on the back?
It's the back side. It'll be the very last section on the side.
View C, that's what you thought? Yeah. Okay.
There, then I'm presenting.
Okay.
Kind of where that added-on laundry room is now. That's about where it'll be. Where it shows the one, like, aluminum window. It'll be around that area, not exactly in that area, but around that area.
And right now, there's just the one window there, okay. Could I ask you something? If we do this, when you take that one window out, could you put it in the attic or
Of course.
if you sell the house and
It
somebody
can go in the shed.
don't want to take it, yeah, just hold on to it.
I was really thinking if we can salvage it and it can be used, although I would really love to have windows that open in, in the new part of the house, because these windows do not open. Where that aluminum one is that we're replacing in the laundry room, I was hoping to use the one we take out and put it there. But that will all depend on what happens when it comes out, because it is in pretty bad shape. And whoever did whatever renovation that was done to it 5 years ago or 6 years ago, well, we've lived in it almost 2 years now, so it's going to be 7 years ago. They put an aluminum window over all the windows on this house. And most of those fell off because they were not properly put on. This one actually stayed, and the one on the butler's pantry beside that actually stayed, but it's caused rotting because the way they put them on, they weren't sealed in any way. So rain, and I didn't even really notice that until I realized there was a wasp building a nest in between the two windows recently, but it has rotted all of that on that. So I don't know if it's going to be salvageable or not. If it is, we are going to use it in what will be the laundry room. And the aluminum things that they've used when they renovated are just going to be thrown away. But we plan on using that as the laundry room window if it doesn't fall apart when we remove it. That's all, it's all going to depend on that.
I want to be sure we touch on everything else on the list. We've got enlarging the laundry mudroom, replacing window to match original style, adding screen porch on rear of house to replace deck, siding to match existing, and brick foundation to match existing.
Yes. But it will be hardy plank. I don't think we'll use the wood. But it will match existing.
Does anybody have questions on anything? No? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we accept her presentation. I think it will look very nice.
Thank you. We look forward to having a bedroom and with a bath.
So Jane, are you motioning to approve as presented?
Yes. I
Do we-
didn't say that.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gotta get started.
That's the neatest street in Monroe. It's so wide.
And I was told, well, Matt said that it had been originally, thought they were gonna plant trees down the middle of that
Yes.
street and never did.
Right. My husband said he used to just play on that street all the time when he was a little boy, and it was so wide, and they could just, yeah, but the trees never happened. Right.
A lot of talk when the Henson house was moved was to go ahead and do that, but I don't know if the city wants to do that or not, but.
No, I don't.
I guess I should say motion carried. Thank you.
It's a pretty street.
It's a beautiful street. I wish all the houses could be fixed up.
Thank you. Do we have any additional business? Hey, Faye, do we have any additional new business?
Oh, ma'am.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
We adjourn. I mean, I make a motion to
I have
adjourn.
something in new business.
That needs to be added to the agenda before we start the meeting.
What now?
That needs to be added to the agenda before we start the meeting. Y'all voted and accepted the agenda as it is, so
Okay.
we've gone through the agenda items.
Okay.
Well, we're having some major health problems in our house, and I may have to resign the committee.
Okay.
We're both facing cancer. Oh, no.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So, Steve's having a biopsy Monday, but the MRI showed malignancy. Oh, no. And I have a mass in a kidney that is 75%
Wow.
chance of being malignant.
I'm
So
very
we're
sorry to
looking
hear
at possible surgery. I don't know what we're looking at right now, but the last month has been tough, and it may get tougher. So I don't know how to go about and I'm waiting for results from my test.
Susan, we'll do whatever you need.
Yeah,
We're here
absolutely.
for
There's
you.
certainly an
We're all here
announcement
for
that's
you.
needed.
We'll do whatever you
so,
need.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not trying to cut you off.
We'll all do whatever you need. We're here for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a little bit more important than any
We're
agenda
all here
item.
for you, 100%. You let us know. So we had a motion to adjourn?
I did.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
What did y'all do?
This concludes the HPC meeting of August 23rd, 2022. We are adjourned.